A very pleasant good afternoon as we welcome you into yet another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. Unfortunately, today's show will be preempted here in about 10 seconds as we send you back to Fox Sports, but we'll rejoin you next Tuesday. So sorry about the short edition of today's show. What?
Go Flyers. We'll preview the Flyers.
Wait a second. I'm being told that we can't do that. That was my plan all along. We just go to... No,
nope.
We've got to fill the whole 2 hours.
Well, it's good news is that Chris Bucagnani is live in Oakmont right now for the Penguins tea times.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Was one heck of a game. I will say that.
You expect nothing less of me. I expect nothing less of you.
It was one heck of a game.
It was awesome.
If you got to go out,
holy hell,
that was one heck of an effort.
I don't know how many overtime games I got in my system anymore.
So this is the thing. And I think we talk about this every year with the NHL playoffs, and I talk about the unpredictability of it, but also and I'm overstating this, and I understand that, but there is almost a randomness to it. And really, I mean, you could make that argument about baseball games as well, right? It's just kind of who has the game on a given day or in a given series. And, I'm listening to some of the post game because I'm a glutton for punishment. And Sidney Crosby's talking about, we're one shot away. What do you want me to, like, it's not like we went out there and laid an egg. We had a red hot goaltender. They had a red hot goaltender. We had some great chances, and it wasn't that, we weren't on point. It just, it was, but you're one shot away. And so many times, right, in the hockey playoffs in particular, I mean, you're watching double overtime games this week. And it's like, and again, hats off. I mean, it's, that's the game. Like but it is, man, if that puck just goes a half inch to the right, we're still playing. If one of the pucks earlier in the game, and, we talk about football being a game of inches and, the difference between a critical first down or not, and it's somewhat random. Now, this isn't as random. I mean, this was, again, great goaltending that really ultimately allowed the Flyers to get the victory and advance to the second round of the playoffs. And it's one of those things, as a Penguins fan, it is just, I don't know what to do with the emotions, because it feels like that is the end of the three leaders run here with Letang, Malkin, and Crosby. But it didn't really feel like they ran out of gas. Now, I think at some point, if they had somehow won this series, I'm not sure that they had enough in the tank to get through the rest of the playoffs. We'll never know. If we can debate that for whatever it's worth another time. But really, it was just, the Flyers were a little bit better and came up with the play when they needed it in overtime. And again, hats off. It was a good series and a great game. I mean, that was, to me, playoff hockey at its very best last night.
It was beautiful. Loved watching it, but, Flyers.
I loved watching almost all of it.
The Flyers were dead on ice, in my opinion. Their legs were fried. For being the younger team, the Penguins looked much, much like, how do you say, sprier? I mean, Flyers at times just looked like they were just like on their heels, just like, and thank God the goalie was fantastic. He came up big many, many, many times, and so did your goalie, obviously. But it just seemed 2-1, in my opinion, with chances. The whole overtime was a shooting gallery on Vader. But, it only takes one, and that's what it was. And it was like, it's always a kooky shot, too. It's never just like one of those, like, wow, just unbelievable. You just put it on net, man. I mean, how many goals could have happened last night that didn't happen because it hit somebody? I mean, there was a lot of blocked shots, a lot of tipped shots, and a lot of, posts, crossbars, and the goalies were making save after save, and it's just always that fluke, crazy goal, and just happy to be on the winning end of it personally.
Yeah, I love the way the Penguins opened the game. The energy level, and they really dictated the play for the opening 10, 12 minutes or so of the game, and then the Flyers seemed to kind of regain their balance and just kind of, all right, hey, here we go. And then again, it was back and forth as hockey games tend to be. There's the ebb and flow, and there were times where it seemed like it was tilting the Flyers' way, times where it was tilting the Penguins' way, but all throughout the goaltenders just standing on their head from start to finish. And again, we'll see what the Flyers can do. Obviously, organization that is very much on the rise, and the Penguins are going to go in, rebuild mode. Now, what parts they maintain is going to be interesting to see, and how they go about this. And that's the other thing, is it just it was one of those things in the aftermath of the loss last night. You're like, oh, that's the end of that run. And what is a little bit, I guess it's frustrating ultimately. I mean, it's in some ways heartening at the same time, but it is that, again, it really didn't feel like the reason they lost was that those guys just got to the point where they're too old to play. Have somebody weighed in, Crosby pointless. Yes, and not expected, obviously. Also, it wasn't like Crosby was held completely in check. I mean, he was firing some shots and had some great passes that set up would-be goals. Again, sometimes there's just a great goalie on the other side. And I think the Flyers, you certainly go back to the first few games. And listen, Crosby and the Penguins offense just not in sync at all. But I do think you give the Flyers credit there as well for the defense they were playing. And the Penguins, I think, largely did figure it out. And I think over the last 3 games, that was not the issue. It was that, again, you had a sensational goaltender that came up.
I probably watched every Flyers-Penguins game in Crosby's career, in Malkin's career, at least 95% of them. And I'm telling you, I swear to God, they were on the ice 92% of the time that they play the Flyers. I mean, every freaking time, it's just like, well, who's out there? They're cycling the puck. They're making passes. It's Crosby to Malkin. And I'm like, do they ever get off the ice? Do they ever come off the ice? The two of them. And then the fact that the two of them are just at any second can just snipe and get a big goal. It's crazy being that dominant, and then having the two of them on the same line is insane. And a very, very, very looking forward to that being broken up. Thank God, finally. Please keep Letang. You can have him. You can have him all you want. He's a liability back there, and it has been for a few years. But
it was pretty.
Crosby is just. I mean, I think Boucher was the one talking about it last night. One thing Boucher someone mentioned last night I was loving. The 5 overtime game, he'd give up a goal in the first shot of the game. Boucher had. And then he went and then, did what they did at 5 overtime and had the big win. But he was talking about that. But I don't know if it was them or the halftime guys talking, or the intermission guys talking. Is Crosby Rushmore? Is he a top 4? And then who was getting kicked off?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Gretzky, Lemieux. You got to go Gordie Howe, right?
I would think so.
There
are some people that
Orr,
might throw Bobby Orr, yeah.
But that's the 4 right now, right? You think?
I would think, yeah. I don't know if, Ovechkin.
He is the all-time goal scorer,
making a case, and I think not an unreasonable case with Ovechkin in there as well.
I'm sorry, you could never pull Gretzky off of there, ever. Even though his records are slowly being broken. But some of those
agreed.
records that he has are just absolutely
Well,
insane. But like when we had, Coach Johnson on here, 9 years ago, and he was talking like Mario was a penalty killer. He would do everything. Gretzky did not do that stuff. He was offense and offensive only. Whereas if, you got Gordie Howe out there, you got Bobby Orr, a defenseman, and you got, Mario Lemieux out there. It's crazy to think, but who would come off of Mount Rushmore to Anders Crosby, Ovechkin? I mean, I don't think Malkin he's not top 5. He's definitely top 12. And that's just insane, the fact that you got four from the same organization on the top 10, top 12.
Probably in that area anyway. Yeah, there's a couple of things I think when you look at the Lemieux and when you start comparing players, and it's the same thing, I think when you get first of all, it's really hard. I mean, everybody loves to do it, and everybody does do it, and as do I. I mean, I'm not, but it's not. You can't really fairly compare like a quarterback from the 1970s to a quarterback today. They are being asked to do entirely different things, and you don't know what those guys in the 70s. Again, it's just not the game they grew up with, and it's the same thing with running backs aren't asked to do today what an Earl Campbell was being asked to do in the 70s or early 80s, and so I think it's really hard when you start comparing it in any sport, different eras, and especially so many rule changes go on over the years. I mean, baseball was the one that for a long time, I think you could hold up as the records and the individuals comparing different generations was baseball felt like the one where you could do that most fairly, because for a long time it basically was the same game. Well, that is no longer the case either between interleague play and now everything that's involved. I don't want to go through the long list, but I mean it is
designated hitters, no pitchers are hitting,
yes,
all that stuff.
I mean it is such a different game now than it was in the 1970s, and I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying it is. So now the rules changes have made it so that I think it's also very difficult to compare. And like football, when those guys were playing, you had guys in the NFL playing both ways. Wow. You go back far enough, and it's like, well, I mean, these guys today, by and large, couldn't do that. But also, it is such a specialized sport now, and the skill sets are so specialized that guys, again, from that era would be absolutely lost in today's era in terms of figuring out, all right, this is what needs to happen. And I think, honestly, to a large degree now, baseball's the same way, and hockey's gone through, different incarnations of, man, we're going to call this tight, we're going to open up the ice, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So I don't know. It's fun to do, and it's worth.
You stop there.
Yeah, comparing.
Officials, hell of a job last night. I will give it to them. I mean, there was a couple calls either way that I was mad at, pissed at, this and that. Well, you got to call that. You don't call that. Why are you doing that? Just let it go.
They were wanting to let them play. Yep.
And they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to get involved. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no,
I did
that's
want
a
to
great
say
point.
that.
Yep.
They were fantastic. There were some times during the end of the second period. I don't know why both guys didn't go. And then, game 5, there was a pretty nasty stuff behind the bench, behind the goal, and 3 uppercuts, all that. But it is what it is. I thought it was handled great. And I thought the players, there was a respect amongst the players, I think. And again, I go back to it all the time. I mean, every time I think about the Flyers Penguins, it's like they've never really been like on equal par, like neck and neck in the whole playoffs. It's always been like one's on their way up, one's on their way down, and they meet somewhere in the middle. And, I mean, for the game, I hope Crosby doesn't go away. I hope Malkin doesn't go away. I just don't see them keeping the three of them together. I mean, they've done that the last 3 years, and it has been mayhem. I think that all my Penguin fans some of them are not happy that they signed all three a couple of years ago. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, you tell me.
Yeah,
Do you think Letang still has it? I mean, I think Malkin and Crosby can still play. That's a lot of money they eat, though.
It is. Yeah, I think they need to. They need to retool. I think obviously Crosby, I think, needs to be part of the equation. But I think you got to see what the market can bring you right now as well. And there's no question they've got to go through a rebuild project here. How long that rebuild is and exactly what it looks like, I think, is where the debate is going to occur. Again, Brian Russ is certainly getting up there, but
he played great. Like he was a
what more were you going to ask out of him in this series? And so, I think I don't think you want to get rid of guys just because hey, he's this old and we got to get younger. It's if he's that old and he's playing well and he can be a part of the reason you get back to the playoffs and maybe try to make a run next year. Again, I'm not for getting rid of guys just for the sake of getting rid of them. And hey, look at us, we're getting younger. But clearly they have some retooling to do. And yeah, Letang, I mean, hats off to him for what he has done and what he has meant. But to me, it is pretty apparent that we're kind of at the end of the road there with that particular run in Pittsburgh. And again, we'll see what the offseason brings. And there's a lot of different things that need to be sorted out and discussed. I think that the team responded very well to Dan Muse. I think that, that feels like the right guy. And again, I think very few of us that I know from the Penguins fandom were expecting this team to get to the playoffs, let alone, have an opportunity to make a run back after the 03 hole that they dug for themselves against the Flyers. And so I also think you don't want to go overboard and hey, we just got to get rid of everybody and then completely start over from scratch. Because again, I don't think you're that far away. Now we'll see what happens with the Flyers here in the next round. And
a little trade, maybe. You got two good goalies right there that are proven. Like you got two out there. You got to get rid of one, pick up another cheap somewhere else. I think.
Yeah. No, I think that's although. Again, as soon as you do that and you get a goalie that's injured, you're like, what? It's just like when you have
the other one.
When you have a couple of quarterbacks that it's the same situation. And I don't know. By the way, speaking of quarterbacks, a lot of talk about the Steelers quarterback situation and how it's going to play out and how they're going to manage the quarterbacks and how this thing moves forward. And again, it starts with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm seeing all kinds of speculation. Again, maybe I'll be proven wrong. I think it's not actually a done deal, but I do think it is going to be a done deal, and Rodgers will be the Steelers quarterback again in the upcoming season. And I think both sides have a pretty good idea that is what's going to happen.
I got to get this off my chest. Does he not realize, or is he just that selfishly brain dead that this affects the whole program, the whole
that's why
system?
So I think
to do it year after year is bullcrap.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and again, maybe I'm wrong. I think he is letting them know quietly, I am planning on coming back. I'm not giving you a guarantee, and that's comes with its own frustration. But that's my read on it. Is I think the Steelers are moving forward fully expecting that Aaron Rodgers will again be back in the upcoming season. But we're back at the same point as we were a year ago in that, okay, it's great and it worked out beautifully last year. It really did. But how confident are you Aaron Rodgers is going to get through the entire season, healthy? And I think there were certainly frustrations last year for Rodgers, and I think he did a very good job managing it. I mean, it never became that we know of a locker room issue or anything, but yeah, he was under more pressure than than he wanted to be. He can't move the way he once did, and he didn't have receivers making plays the way he would have liked. So, I think the Steelers went out, tried to address the offensive line and receiver issues in the draft and in the offseason. And, again, to what degree they were successful in that, I think remains to be seen. But again, Aaron Rodgers is another year older. He's not going to get more mobile in the upcoming season. And so there's a lot of interesting dynamics there. And whether or not either Will Howard, and to me, that is obviously the burning question right now with the Steelers organization moving forward is, do they have their quarterback of the future, the guy that is going to take over long term on the roster now, or do they not? And if they do, how confident are they can get him developed and ready to go where you feel good about that spot next season, meaning the 2027 season? And I don't know.
It just frustrates me as a player. I mean, obviously right now he's saying, yes, I'm coming back. But then any time between now and July, he might be like, hey, dude, I'm not feeling it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't right. That ain't fair. And it's, that's their decision to accept that. It's the Steelers' decision to say, okay.
Yeah, they could have gone out and, try at least made
they could have gone out and got Russell
for
Wilson. Wait a minute. Justin Fields, they could have gone out and got one of those guys. And, oh, right. Sorry, I apologize.
Uh-huh.
So, Penguins, I'm all good with it, everything, but like, is Crosby owed money by the Penguins to take over ownership and get another, couple more deals from the NHL, get hooked up by the NHL? That's the cynical Flyer fan in me right there, buddy. So, I mean, I always loved and respected Mario, but I never understood Mario until the Badger came on the show years ago, and he was talking about how good Mario was at everything. I mean, you and I remember Gretzky is just this offensive guru, and he was unbelievable, probably the most dominant thing in the history of sport, in my opinion. How he came in and did what he did. We're talking about Gretzky here. But then, Mario to come in there and then, to do what he did at the size he did was damn impressive. So, yes, I hope that the Crosby Malkin thing is over. I really do. I'm sick and tired of them. It's pretty much the Bobby Clark thing for your Penguins fans. Like, they just get rid of him. We hate him to death. So, yes, it was a good run for you guys. But I hope it's over. I hope it's over forever. And I hope you're in Kansas City in the next 5 years.
That's
the cynical Flyer in me.
I'm more worried about the Pirates and whether or not they're going to be in Pittsburgh in 5 years, to be honest with you. But
really,
Buccos are struggling in this series with the Cardinals. St. Louis looking to complete a 4-game sweep, leading 5-3 here, although it was
5-0.
Yeah.
4-0.
4-0. Yeah, 4-0 and 5-1. It might have been 5-9. I lost track there a little bit. I know it was 4-0 at one point for sure and 5-1 at one point. Now 5-3, and they have chased Paul Skeens. So, yeah, we'll see. Big series for the Pirates. Hopefully a bounce-back series at home this weekend against the first-place Cincinnati Reds, and see if the Buccos can, make this a short-lived losing skid, and again, still could come back and salvage the final game with this series against the Cardinals, which would be a nice little boost going into the again. It feels like probably too early to actually call it a pivotal series, but feels like a pretty important series against the Reds back at home this weekend. And once again, the weather is not looking very promising to draw out the big crowds.
Just to put that in
Pittsburgh.
perspective,
Good
Jeff
heavens.
was over here looking at the weather. He was going, my Lord,
well,
because you got to work out there tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, my wife has a table at tomorrow night's game, so we're heading out fairly early tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have to have I think we got to get the table set up a couple of hours before first pitch is scheduled. Last year we got out there, and I forget we had a lengthy rain delay, and eventually they're like, yeah, you guys can head out. You're supposed to stay there. I think it's at least 5 or 6 innings, but obviously it'll be a little weather dependent. It looks like the rain should clear out before the game, at least what we're seeing right now. Looks like the rain's not going to be an issue, so it's just going to be bundling up because it looks like it's going to be in the 40s and dropping to the low 40s by the end of the game tomorrow evening. So
with the draft being in Pittsburgh last week, looked amazing. All of that stuff. 320,000 people were there on Thursday night for the draft.
That's what they said.
Did you hear everybody's a little upset about, nobody from Pittsburgh went downtown? And that's what a lot of the bars and restaurants who expected to be packed and full were empty. And they overstocked food, booze, everything, all that stuff. And so everybody's sort of mad at the NFL because it was like they just came in and, they were the big bad wolf, yada, 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 all that stuff. So, but I was reading something
you mean just
listening.
serving food at the event? Or
Not the event, but outside, like the local bars and restaurants around that area. They really didn't get as big a kick as they thought they would because people that went to the draft, and that's it. They ate their food there. They drank their booze
That's what
there.
I'm saying. Yeah. You're saying the NFL had food set up.
Yes. There. And then, that whole situation, and I told you some stuff about that. Like, they were really locked in on who was serving the food. And in essence, it was the NFL being the big bad wolf saying, okay, well, if there's $1 million to be made, we're going to make
what the NFL does.
We're going to make 1.1 of it. So that's how they operate. So I don't know where I heard it or read it. And it blew my mind, and I just remembered it, and I looked it up. Pittsburgh is a 3-team professional city.
Yeah.
And for the population of the city of Pittsburgh, do you know what the population of the city of Pittsburgh is?
It is one of the smallest
I could not believe what I
cities.
heard and who they compared it to. I said, you're got to be crazy. Lincoln, Nebraska has a larger population than the city of Pittsburgh. That's insane to be thinking about.
Yeah.
Now, I know that Pittsburgh is made up of a lot of it's not just downtown, it's more the suburbs and stuff, just like Philadelphia. I mean, Philadelphia is one big county with a lot of people, but there's also 5 counties that surround it, including New Jersey and Delaware on the opposite sides, that make up the metropolitan area. But I was amazed that Pittsburgh is only 300,000 people. And the fact that they have 3 major sports. So somebody was talking, and I was away down in Florida with some guys from Ohio State. And we were talking about that or this, and then they mentioned how big Columbus is. And I said, get the hell out of here. And I looked it up. It's almost 3 times the size of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I know it's
insane to think about that. Like, you think of Columbus, Ohio. I do not think of Columbus. Columbus is bigger than Cleveland and Cincinnati combined. If you add in all the metropolitan area and stuff like that. I could not believe what I was hearing. But it checks out, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
I never thought about that. But I know we have a great radio sports talk show here, so what are some of the smaller cities that have 2 or 3 professional sports teams? I mean, Columbus obviously has the Blue Jackets, and that's it.
Yeah,
they have a soccer team, but they also have Ohio State,
right?
So like Seattle, like Oakland. Oakland's done now, but Las Vegas. It's just crazy to think about it. It's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is being one of the smallest markets out there.
Yeah,
Kansas City, maybe.
Kansas City is
That's always weird. They're always the two that get thrown around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just I don't know where it came from. I mean, Madden was saying, and I don't know. It was just weird to think about. Maybe it was even between the Flyers' Pens. I don't know. But, I mean, it's – wow. And I guess because of everything that went down the last week in Pittsburgh with the Flyers series.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had the draft that was going on. And, by the way, great job. 320,000 people in a stadium.
That is what they said.
That is working, baby.
It is a lot of folks in.
Was it free? Do you know?
To go to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they might have had paid sections, but like you could go for free for sure.
That's good.
Yeah. Maybe some of the other stuff not so good, but yeah.
I'm sure.
But that's
overpriced and
yeah. All right, let's take a break here, and we are back with much more as the rain now starts to pour.
I'd say it started raining.
Good
Holy
heavens.
Crap.
Woof. Ugh. All right, we're back after this. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And back here on a Thursday afternoon.
A pleasant Thursday afternoon.
In the Valley of Happiness.
Yeah.
Still rain. Not quite as heavy now, but
yeah, everything's canceled now until Monday for State College and all kinds of kids' sports. It's just canceled.
Yeah,
no sports, Pelkey. That nothing. It rained. It's way too cold. It's under 50.
Yeah.
I mean, when are kids going to learn that, like, hitting a baseball at the end of the bat when it's like 41 degrees, how much that hurts? You don't have that opportunity. You don't know. It's like, when a kid's playing in the dirt, like, let the kid eat it. He'll never do it again.
Yep. Good lessons to learn.
God, I still have nightmares, Jeffrey, about the baseball. That the aluminum bat, cold day.
Oh, yeah.
Lord. And even getting worse. How about getting hit by a pitch on a cold day?
Oh, brutal.
Oh.
Yep.
See, in football,
Absolutely.
it didn't matter. It was like, I think you just expected to get hit in football all the time. So, but that baseball.
Yeah, there's a different mindset
stung,
for
dude.
sure.
That baseball stung.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did you play baseball?
Only up to junior high. For the kids these days, that would be middle school, but we had junior high. But I didn't. I don't
Little
think I played.
Little League's till 12. Did you play after 12?
Yeah. No, I think
that was it.
Yeah, I think that was it.
What'd you do in the spring? And summer, if you don't mind.
In high school, we did. I ended up doing we had kind of a spring football workouts. We did a lot of IM sports too. We did. I'm trying to think. I guess basketball would have been winter, but we did. And we also did a lot of just, horsing around in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Type stuff. But yeah, I don't think I did. In junior high, I might have done wrestling in the winter, and then, yeah, you know what? I don't think I did a spring sport per se from junior high on.
I went to high school. I was going to do the typical football, basketball, baseball. And then got cut my freshman year from the baseball team. I was furious. Embarrassed more than anything that I couldn't believe that I got cut. But I was also 6'5". I had a strike zone, which was like 4 foot. So it's funny. I still played baseball for until I was 15 years old, and they called it senior league, probably like Babe Ruth now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did all that, but then I did shot put and discus in the spring after that. But
Yeah, I never did. I don't know why I wouldn't have done track
in
and
the
field,
summer,
just something. But yeah, I don't think I did anything like varsity sports wise.
When I tell you the
in
story all the
spring.
time of what I told my after my senior year of football, I was going to Penn State, going anywhere I wanted to do all this and all that. So it was Mr. Cocky idiot moron. So I told my basketball coach I wasn't playing hoops my senior year. I ever tell you that? And I've told this story before. And he was like, "Why aren't you playing?" We won played for 2 in a row.
Yeah,
I wanted another shot at Roman Catholic and this and that. And I was like, "Nah, I don't feel like playing. I want to get bigger and stronger in the weight room. I want to get ready to go play at Penn State." And my high school coach was like, "I got you. I understand." But so I think the first place he went was right down to my dad's tire shop.
Yep.
And he says, "Hey, Moon, your kid's not going to play." And he goes, "Oh, really? Why not?" He goes, "Well, he said he wants to get big and strong and this and that." So I got home that night. My dad was waiting for me. And, again, I've told you this story. So he said, "What time are you done class every day?" I said, 2 o'clock. He goes, "Okay, well, I'll have somebody pick you up every day, and you come work to me till 6 o'clock at night." He goes, "You'll throw enough tires around. You'll get big and strong."
Plenty big, plenty strong.
I was on the basketball court the next morning at practice because I had no way in hell that I want to go work for my father we already had to work for him in the summertime, but I didn't want to go work for him in the spring. So I was a basketball player in the winter then. And my dad knew exactly, and my high school coach knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to go party, get drunk, and chase broads. Bottom line. And lift weights to get stronger to go play at Penn State. So yep. So that changed real quick, but I did always play baseball growing up and stuff like that. And
we did a lot of pickup games like in junior high and stuff, like just over the summer.
But you would play like with gloves and bats.
Oh,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
because we would play tennis ball. Did you ever have that? Tennis ball being, the old yellow wiffle ball bat.
Yeah,
we'd have the electrical and duct tape on there.
Yeah.
We'd have stuff
we did. Yeah, we did that too. But no, we would get. We did that a lot too, for sure.
Yeah, we had right outside of our grade school / church was the perfect park because it was just set up. It got to the point where the school actually painted lines.
Love it.
First base, second base, infield, outfield, and foul lines. It was really cool, but that was growing up, man. It was every day. And then street hockey. For never playing hockey in my life.
Yeah, we never did.
Oh, man, street hockey was the best.
We did not do the.
You don't have a little brother,
hockey.
right?
Correct.
See, I had a puppy. I had my little brother Puppy. So he was the fat kid who liked to play goal because he was like, I'll play, because it was always like, you get net. So we would put him and we'd find him. My older brothers, they were ingenuitive. I gotta give the boys in the 70s that, and they were very ingenuitive. So there were 2 big pieces of foam, shipping foam, I guess, whatever. They had them cut up, sliced up, and they had like 3 of my father's old leather work belts on each leg, and it was like that was our goalie pads. Don't get them wet. Once you got that foam wet, it was like 400 pounds a leg. So
it was amazing what you could improvise.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's.
And it's just crazy now because hockey and lacrosse, I mean, specifically at home with lacrosse, but here with lacrosse, I can't get over how big of a sport it is right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is a sport that you and I, they didn't have when we were growing up, when we were in high school. They didn't have it at LaSalle.
No.
And now they win state title.
We would
state
get
title.
exposed to it in gym class for like a month every
with the sticks and all.
Every year, it's like, all right, this is how you do it, and then you play it for a few weeks and learn a little bit of the basics, and then you moved on, and that was it.
But hockey was the same way. I mean, there was nowhere to play at home. And, it was over at Chestnut Hill in Wissahickon. They had a rink over there. And, I had a guy I played high school football with, one of my real good friends, Kevin Schmidt. He said they had practice midnight to 2 a.m. And I'm like, who's driving you there? And he goes, my father. And I was like, my father would cut my throat if I woke him up at 11 o'clock saying, Dad, bring me to practice.
Wow,
you got to pick me back up at 2 a.m. There's no way in hell he's getting up at 5 to go to work. So nuts to think about it. And then, I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No.
Like Penn State and the Pagula Arena, how much ice time these kids have.
Oh, yeah.
And have the ability to get on the ice. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The figure skating and all is a thing here now. It's great.
Yeah. No, the opportunities that not really getting on a soapbox here, but I will. The one thing I just maybe unnecessarily, but I do worry about is the lack of just what we're talking about, having that time where you just go out and you don't have adults supervising. You just go play for the sake of playing, whatever the sport is. And, again, I'm sure advantages, disadvantages to everything. You learn, kids today are getting more proper instruction on, hey, this is how you should be, tackling or handling the lacrosse stick or whatever it may be at an earlier age. And there's no question some benefit to it. I do think there is something to the socialization component in particular of, hey, we're playing our own pickup game, whether baseball, hockey, street hockey, football, whatever, and we'll figure it out. And that interaction, I think, where it's just kids on kids, and you set the rules, you enforce the rules, you figure it out. Who's the leaders? I think there is something beneficial to that. And, we just had a unrelated but related. We, there's that book, The Anxious Generation, and now there's, I'm forgetting the.
Oh, who's that? Who's the anxious?
Now, Jonathan Haidt has written a book that is specific to kids, and it's like I'll look it up here during the break, but it's something generation, but it's talking about the benefits and drawbacks to having everything at your fingertips with the computers and phones and all of the games, and the exposure now that and I actually just had a discussion about this. And again, advantages, disadvantages to everything. When we were kids, and we've talked about this, like in our neighborhood, we had Pirates fans because we're pretty close to Pittsburgh. We had a couple of Phillies fans, but we had a lot of Yankees fans. It's like, well, we're in State College, Pennsylvania. Well, the Yankees were the one team, and then the Braves came in, and so like between the Cubs, Braves, and Yankees, and Mets, you could get the Mets for a while. But it's all right. Well, that's what you're exposed to. Well, now you're exposed again. My kiddo is a Dolphins fan and a Padres fan. Well, he wouldn't have been a Dolphins or a Padres fan because he wouldn't have been exposed. You saw the This Week in Baseball on Saturday mornings. It's like, this is what's happening elsewhere throughout the country. Now, every morning you're exposed to the if you want. We're not even every morning. It's, hey, look what happened 5 minutes ago. Watch the highlight. And you don't even need the TV. You can do it on your phone or computer. So, everything continually changes, and you're exposed to more, and you have more opportunities, certainly in this area, in the State College area, to get really good coaching in a wide variety of sports at earlier ages. But also with that is the concern of overscheduling, right? It's like, and And I got to tell you, it is a struggle. Like, we are try to be very conscientious about it, but if your kid wants to do, and we want to expose them to different things, right? And if your kids want to, hey, yeah, I'm into karate, I'm into basketball, I'm into the, well, you want to encourage that. Well, it doesn't take much to all of a sudden it's like, well, there's school, now we have this scheduled, that scheduled, and now there's not really any time to go be. And I'm telling you, it's like two you get them signed up for a musical lesson and a sport. That pretty well fills your week. Well, if you get into any kind of other activities, and again, there's all kinds of fun things you can get involved in, or just go to different shows, go to different concerts, etc., etc. And it's like, man, it's hard to schedule the unscheduled time for kiddos these days. And I don't know, it just seemed, and I think part of it is you just always remember things, tend to remember things as being better than they were. But I swear, and we had, I mean, it wasn't that we didn't have any supervised, I mean, we had biddy soccer and it was coached by adults, but I mean, we just played outside. Like,
yeah.
That was too. Our. So, I mean, maybe you'd go to the soccer for an hour or hour and a half, whatever it was, and have that supervised. But then right after that, you came home and went back to in our case, it was usually the church yard or one of the neighbors' yards. And again, you'd play whatever, kickball, basketball, football, whatever. And you do that for hours on end.
Kickball, dodgeball. Great games.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I think it's hard it's challenging to not overschedule kids.
I know you don't do much social media.
Today.
I know it's not your thing, but there's a woman on Facebook or Instagram, one or two. She's like this girl our age type of thing, and she's talking about like you don't mess with Generation X. Like, don't do it. We're like the last generation that was allowed to be raised on their own. She's like, we're almost feral. Like, we are the last feral generation before everybody got coddled, and everything she says is funny. It's like I hear comedians talk about it. Like, what did your mom and dad say to you when you were growing up? Get out of my sight.
Yep.
I don't want to see you, which meant what? Get the hell out of the house.
Yep.
We don't want you in the house. Now it's like, well, where are you going? Why are you leaving?
Well, even so,
and then there's a comedian out there, and he talks about it. Like, is it just safer now than it was then? Or is this like more well known that the bad stuff that could happen?
Well, yes, but it's also much easier to get exposed to it. So that the thing about that, and again, there's probably a balance here, but when we were kids, right, it was get out of my sight, but it was, you knew you were going to go play. Like, the worst thing that was going to happen was, oh my gosh, you sat there and watched TV for 2 hours, but we really didn't, outside of Saturday mornings, and we would go to friends' houses and watch cartoons, even up into high school. It's like, let's watch an hour or two of cartoons. Sure. It would drive our parents crazy. Like, that was but generally you'd go and we were outside. It's like, we'll get together. Or if you were inside, if it was a completely rainy day or something, we were playing board games. Now the concern is, and again, this generation book with Jonathan Haidt, they had this meeting at the school where parents and kids were kind of talking about it and reviewing it. And one of the things that is challenging now is, and pretty much we all knew, well, not pretty much, we did know. I mean, different parents or different families might know each other better, but you knew who lived in all of the houses in our neighborhood. I couldn't tell. There are neighbors, not right next door, but we have neighbors within 5 houses of us.
You don't know them.
Goon. And I mean, I feel like we're fairly sociable, try to stay fair. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you names. I couldn't tell you ages.
Have you
I have
seen
no
them?
idea on the professions. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, people, in and out, in some cases, most cases. But again, we've lived there. Well, I've lived there now, whatever it is, 7 years. And it's like, well, that just wouldn't have happened. Like, we had neighborhood, and it wasn't all the time, but there was almost every summer a neighborhood summer picnic. There was Christmas caroling, and we would get together and go around and carol, and then somebody would always, different people would host the Christmas party at the end of the caroling, and a bunch of people would come in, and we knew. And I'm not going to say all of the rules were the same, because that wasn't the case. You knew which parents were a little more lenient, which ones you could get some stuff away with. But now, like, there are houses that where you are not allowed to do video games or be on social media at all. And there are other houses where, whatever you want to do. Well, that is hard to navigate, right? Because if you're on either end of that spectrum as a parent and your kid's going to a house that's on the other end of that spectrum, well, that's not good either way for you or kiddo. But also the amount of monitoring. So back in the day, Goon, we knew there were a couple of dads, and we knew over time, we learned, hey, under this dad's mattress, we got a Playboy. Well, that was our exposure to pornography. Well, now
you needed older brothers, Ironhead.
Now you can be playing a game, right? I mean, like a completely innocent, like a kids-oriented game, and a ne'er-do-well can get in there, and all of a sudden, your kiddo is getting exposed to, I mean, stuff that we wouldn't have even been able to comprehend, or in our wildest imagination, even in high school, been able to be exposed to.
Oof.
And so, I mean, good God, like that adds another whole element to the concerns on the parental front. And just go back to the lessons learned too, and the way things, because it's just a different world, and coddled is probably the right word. But my grandfather, and I mean, comparatively, I was coddled as a kid. My grandfather told the story, and it obviously stuck with me. It made an impression. But he was maybe not in high school yet, at maybe junior high age, and was helping his dad with a project. They were building a fence. My grandfather was hammering nails in, and his dad said, you're holding it too close to the handle, like you want to hold it down lower. Well, after about 10 minutes, he's like, hey, go back to the house and get a screwdriver. Well, the house was like a mile away, like literally a mile away, not one of those, hey, it was a mile both ways and it snowed, like literally. So he goes back, my grandfather does, and the whole time he's thinking, why do we need a screwdriver? Like, all of the fun, it's like we're hammering nails in. Like, I don't understand. We're not using screws at all on any of this. We've been doing this, but that's what his dad told him to do. He brings the screwdriver down. He's like, all right, now use the screwdriver to hammer the nails in. He's like, well, that's not going to be effective. He's like, right. It's going to be every bit as effective as the way you're holding the hammer. Now, I told you to hold the hammer down here, and that's what you do. But guess what he never did? The rest of his life is like he held the hammer where you can get the most effective
torque.
Yes, for your swing. So again, that is, I mean, he had him walk a mile both ways to make the lesson clear, and it was. There is, I dare say, no parent that would do that today. Very few, anyway. There might be somebody somewhere out there. But, again, he's like, well, this is, he's not listening to me. I'm not making the point with my initial plea, so I'm going to make sure he remembers the lesson, and he did.
Reminds me of the first time my father had me chopping wood in the backyard. We had sledgehammers and wedges. And I don't know if you ever seen how big truck tires are. You got to beat those off the beads, but you got to use sledgehammers and chop hammers. And chop hammer is you got to, it's a big sledgehammer on one side, and the other thing is like a fork, and you got to get in between the rim and then the bead. Break the bead, and you can pry it apart. It's not easy. It's some strenuous grunt work. And so my dad brings the sledgehammer, brand new sledgehammer, wooden handled, 12, 15-pounder, beautiful. And he has wedges, and we had just cut some trees down in the yard a year before. And he's like, it's time. These are seasoned. We got to split these up. And, God forbid he would get a hydraulic tree splitter. I mean, when you have 5 sons, that's what they have them for, I guess, right? So I'm 10, 12 years old, and he's teaching me how to swing a sledgehammer. And, he's got it in there, and, he was a mutant of a man. He's like, and you can hear the wood just, it's like jumping apart. So he's like, all right, and he's holding it, and I'm scared to death. He's holding this wedge. It's probably the size of this cup. And I'm like, if I don't hit it, I'm going to hit his hand, and that's going to be worse. So I sure as hell go over it with the hammer and hit the hammer like this and shatter the wooden handle of the brand new sledgehammer that had one swing. It was the first swing of that sledgehammer.
Brutal.
And, so he was obviously furious with me. And he goes, all right, well, so the next day he comes home, and I figured he was going to get a new sledgehammer. But no, he duct taped this one. So now it's got duct tape all over my hand, blisters everywhere. And I learned how to chop wood that day with the wedges and with the sledgehammer. So, that wasn't going to be it wasn't going to be pretty, trust me.
Lessons learned.
He was not happy with me, but yes, I love when you see on social media, he's like, you're not going to yell at me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I held the flashlight for my father growing up. And that's the truth. I mean, the stuff you heard from back in the day was crazy.
No question about it. All right, we'll take a break here. Be back with another hour of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show after this.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
And all kinds of other tempting things. Great times, great food, get to quick and steak and lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to quick to steak and lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
Back here on a Thursday afternoon as Phillies
As the Goon
rallied.
celebrates a ninth inning rally.
Good couple of days in Philadelphia, not a good couple of days in Pittsburgh. Pirates, after pulling to within 5-4, now trailing 7-4 as they give a couple right back. Phillies, though, with a walk-off victory, rallying from a run down to pull out the 3-2 win.
Crawford, 3 hits today.
Giants.
Young Mr. Crawford with 3 hits today, including the game winner. Hustle play is what it was. Infield was in.
It was.
Stuff, so. Yes. Fun team. Let's go. Keep it going now. I think that means Donnie Baseball is undefeated.
How about it?
He's the greatest manager in the history of baseball.
First shutout of the season yesterday, and now the come from behind walk-off rally in the ninth today. Magic Goon in Philadelphia right now.
Did you know that the what was it, game 2 when the Flyers won in the shutout? That was the first Flyers shutout the whole season. They had not had a shutout the whole season, and they had 2 this series. So they give you any indication of how the goaltending has stepped up. So,
jeez, that's bonkers.
Look at this. I mean, that wasn't like that the whole day, right? I mean, is it because it's late in the game? There's only like 1,000 people there.
We'll go with that.
I mean, I'm going down in what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and I can't find a ticket for less than $60. Ironhead, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
well, you watch an afternoon game and there's 1,000 tickets sold.
Not a great day, in fairness, weather-wise, and
still in depression.
We're
with the Penguins.
We're a little a little scarred from decades of lackluster baseball. So, yeah, it's been a debate these early season, the lack of attendance in Pittsburgh, but again, not great weather. A team that certainly got off to a good start, but we've seen
They've seen it before.
This organization get off to some terrific starts in previous seasons and then fold very significantly very quickly. So different people are judging differently. The poor attendance figures during the week, and certainly, I mean, afternoon makes it that much tougher. But even the night games here have not been particularly well attended for the Pirates here in the early going of the season, and that's why I do think this series coming up with the Reds is big, because part of this is you've got to get the fan base buying in that this is truly a playoff contending type of team. And this series is not helping enforce that. And again, the bullpen woes are a very real concern at this point for the Pirates. They've battled back really in 3 of these games, only to see the Cardinals then be able to answer back against the bullpen, and they are doing so yet again here today as they look for the 4-game sweep.
You want to hear one of the most Philly things of all time? Yesterday, the Phillies did play last night. That's the game they just played was the makeup from last night. So, the Giants are not coming across the country to Philadelphia anymore, so they had to get the game in now. So, understood, I get it. But last night they showed on TV the Flyers were up in a suite, and of course they showed them at the center, and they were booed. In classic Philadelphia fashion, they were booed because of their performance this year, and that's just Philadelphia in a nutshell. And the sort of like the athletes that come into Philadelphia realize that there was just a passion and a love for the sport. And we're going to love you, but if you're not playing well, you're going to be booed and you're going to be, yelled at. And some people just can't understand that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, is it a passionate fan base? Is that what does it? And, or is it just pricks? Are they just jerk fans? And, you're supposed to support your team through and through, up and down, this and that, even though when they're playing bad? I don't think so. So I just thought that was the most Philly thing of all time last night. It's just like, hey, you guys are, 11-19, so we're going to boo you because the Flyers are playing well. We're Flyer fans now, so that's just a Philadelphia thing, I guess.
Welcome to Philly.
Yep, I love it.
Good week going though in Philadelphia.
Not a bad one. Good draft. The Flyers won. I think they played the Penguins. I think it's one of their rivals. So I think it was that Pittsburgh they beat.
Is that opening round of the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yes, and let's not kid ourselves. I mean, they're going to go down and play the Carolina Hurricanes right now, who are really good. And I think
they're not too shabby.
Both Pennsylvania teams realize that, hey, we get this series, we're going to get it's going to be a very, very tough one, the next one. But I will say this: the Flyers played Carolina 4 times this year, won overtime in all 4 games.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
and as we've talked about, a hot goaltender can make all of the difference.
Baby. And they've been waiting since Pelle Lindbergh died 4 years. I mean, this is literally the 40-year anniversary of Pelle dying. And I have called it the curse of Pelle Lindbergh since then. They have been looking for this goalie, for a goalie to play like Pelle Lindbergh, to play like Bernie Pirant. So we got 40-year anniversary of Pelle Lindbergh dying. Bernie Pirant died this past year, so it's all just coming together with the goalie.
There you go.
It's all coming together, just as it was predicted.
Meanwhile, Pirates
it is the 9th, right? Or is it
chugging
the 8th?
along.
It's the top of the 8th.
I think it's the 8th right now. Yeah.
Nothing like getting
not that it really makes a great deal of difference.
They can get there. Come on, Jeffrey. Come on. They're your guys.
Yeah, it's
what do you got going this weekend?
Very frustrating.
Got any travels?
Well, just to Pittsburgh tomorrow. Yeah, we got a full
You
full
sleep
slate
you
of
staying
stuff.
or are you coming?
No, we got to get back because full slate of stuff. We got
Little League Baseball.
Matt Turtle. No, he has an event, a reading competition that will be pretty early Saturday morning. So we gotta. Hopefully, he'll sleep on the way back and be relatively well rested for the event. But then
How's
he'll
the
have
strep?
Little League after that. We are on the mend. Seems. Yep, I think we're good. Antibiotics doing their job.
No offense, but what the hell's a reading? Whatever you just said.
Competition.
What does that mean? You have to read a certain book and give a review of it, or
You read a bunch of different books, and then your group has to answer questions on the various books. It should be fun. It'll be.
Is he reading books that day, or is it like pre?
No, they've had
time to build up, and
I
read
don't
them.
know how many weeks that they've been working on it. So, yep, should be fun. Should be good.
You go there with the signs. Let's go.
You better remember everything about that book. Yeah, it'll be.
My mother would say.
Be interesting to see how it.
If you don't win, you don't come home. There ain't no dinner
exactly
here if you
right.
don't win tonight, buddy. That's what you tell a 9-year-old kid in Little League. That's how you learn.
Get them straightened out real quick.
That's how you learn a competitive edge. I want to
That's
eat
right.
tonight, so I have to win this game. Hey.
Poor Penguins don't get to eat again
Nope.
until October. It's going to be a
I actually
brutal,
did see a
brutal
picture.
stretch.
Hockey players are the most normal guys physically in sports, I think. I saw a picture of Crosby getting coffee yesterday in Sewickley. He looks like a freaking teenager still. I mean, he's not a large, imposing guy at all.
No.
I mean, you would say on the rather small side of muscularity. I don't know. I never saw him with a shirt on or nothing, but like, he's just a small dude. It's a very physical game, man.
Yeah.
Very physical game, and he's obviously fast as hell. So,
does have that going for him. And hopefully,
do you think he's done, or you think he has more?
Oh no, he'll be back.
I think he would. I think he will be too.
Hopefully, has a good 7-iron going now too.
I don't think. Is Malkin under contract again, or are they all up?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be interesting to see. There's going to be some conversations that will go on very quickly. By the way, speaking of the moving on, I've had a couple people reach out. So Lucas Cochran did enter the portal. He was done here at Penn State. I'm not sure that he's not done. Period. And I think he is just keeping the option open. But I mean, I get it. Technically, yes. But they also, because he had finished up and was graduating, again, you only have the 30 roster spots now. And so, it's a very small group that Penn State is bringing in next year. And I really wasn't aware that Cochran even potentially had another year left, to be honest with you. I'm still, some of the stuff and the way they figure this stuff now is hard to keep track of. But there just wasn't a roster spot for any of those guys if they came back. And it's not because, man, we don't want you on the roster. There's 30 spots, and you gotta fill them with guys that are coming in and that you are expecting back. And so, that one to me, while I understand that it is in fact a transfer portal guy.
Did you not introduce him
Technically,
Sunday?
that is true.
2 weeks ago, as he
yeah.
was one of the seniors, right?
Yeah, I just don't think that I view that as what I would call a true transfer portal.
Oh, he's a fifth-year guy looking to wrestle somewhere. And if he uses the
guy looking to wrestle,
if he uses the Penn State thing to say, hey, we got a Penn State guy on our roster right now, and it helps him out getting somewhere and some money.
He's a terrific. I mean, if he does wrestle and he gets the year of eligibility, I mean, he is certainly a guy that can All-American at the very least. I mean, Lucas is a terrifically talented individual, and a really good wrestler. But again, I don't.
Where's he from?
I don't look at it as something that necessarily is going to impact Penn State for next season. Utah. So, again, we do have a lot of.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Interesting events coming up over the summer.
Kale's Cookies. Before I forget about it, because I will elude me again.
Yeah.
Is that Sanderson?
Yeah.
What is it? I see stuff for it now, and it's like the return of Kale's Cookies.
Yeah.
I never even heard of it until recently.
It's like a nutritional cookie
that Kale has made or he created years ago, decades ago, year ago.
Yeah, he had them when he pretty early on, just for the team, and then they're marketing them now for sale and distribution beyond.
If you don't mind, what is it? You say it's nutritional?
Yeah, it's like a nutritional cookie. Like there's a bunch of those types of foods out there where they're like
high in
give
protein
you energy
type of thing.
They're really good. I mean, I've had several of them, and
me and you eat them as cookies, and they're not supposed to be cookies, and it's all like 90 grams of protein, and all of a sudden, me and you get heavy, Jeff.
Yeah, no, they're very good, and it's all relative, but I mean, they're good for you. And I think they have a couple of more flavors that are coming out over the.
Would you call it a meal replacement or a dessert or a snack?
Yes,
I just never knew. I
would
figured,
call it any and all of those.
I don't know many Kales in this world, especially spelled that way.
More now in the wrestling community.
There is.
It has been really interesting when you go around. Of course, Cal Nazio on the Penn State roster, but it is interesting. It's a more common name now,
spelled
for
A-E-L.
sure. Yep.
Kale Yarborough back in the day, I got it, but that wasn't spelled that way. You know whose name is like that? Jalen Rose in the Michigan and the Fab Five. I think that my little brother had said that there was documented that there was never been the name Jalen was never really used, and then Jalen Rose become part of the Fab Five, and now you see how many guys are in professional sports with the name Jalen. It's pretty amazing. It is. Jalen, I guess I don't like him as much as I would have liked. I liked Chris Webber. I didn't like Jalen Rose whatsoever. I didn't like him personally, but Juwan Howard wasn't, But I don't see many Juwans out there, as many as I see Jalen's, though. A lot of dudes named Jalen.
Yeah, that is.
Apologize. I jumped you with the Kale's Cookies thing. I didn't know because it just popped in my head. Like, would you eat it as, like I said, is it a dessert?
I would do any or all of the above.
Is
dessert,
it geared
snack
towards wrestlers type of thing? Like,
I think anybody obviously can have it. I think it is probably a pretty good treat or snack for athletes in general, any caliber. But really, it tastes good, so it's not like I think you can use it just as a regular cookie if that's your desire.
I jumped you there. I apologize.
No,
but I had not seen it until like the other. I've been seeing it for the last.
They're good.
Few weeks.
It's been funny. Yeah, it's been funny. There's been a couple of different wrestling outlets that are having different wrestlers and media members and folks try the cookies, and I haven't seen anybody yet that is like, this is awful. I mean, and they are. They taste good, and again, there's a lot of nutrition in there.
I was trying to think
for sure.
Did Joe have a marinara sauce or something?
I don't know if he had. He was
bread,
selling.
maybe?
Yeah, he was hawking it.
Oh, he was the
which
rep
back in those
advertising.
days it was, it's funny now. But I mean, he got grief from some people. Oh, you're selling out. It's like, he's Italian and it's a
marinara
pasta
sauce.
Like, of all of the things to, but there were people. I remember people getting that. There were people that were not happy that hey, just coach football. What are you doing?
Wow.
In advertising.
I got a great Joe story for you there.
Now we have the athletes in high school wearing. Anyways,
we were watching in the 90. My first month here. I was a true freshman. We were getting ready to play Georgia Tech in the kickoff classic, and for some reason, Joe decided to put. I think that did they lose the UVA in 1990 or Texas or somebody in the opening game, but Joe put the game tape on, not the game tape, the TV tape of the year before opening game, saying this is what we can't do. We got to come out better than this, And it was just funny that we were watching a TV copy of a game, a Penn State game from the year before. And he made a comment, dude, and I remember it, and I still laughed my ass off thinking about it. James Earl Jones was doing a Yellow Pages commercial, and Joe pauses it and he goes, "He stole my job." Because Joe was hawking for the Yellow Pages since the 80s.
Yeah.
He's James Earl Jones. He stole my job. I just remember that like it was yesterday. That was good. Let me think. There was the Paterno. I thought it was the marinara, but you're right. And then the other two stories I have about that is that they're talking about like Raleigh Massimino's name is crap in Philadelphia, in my opinion. In my world, the former Villanova head coach.
Yeah,
and he was complaining about this and that, and he's out there trying to sell shirts. He worked for he was out there hawking dress shirts and stuff like that. So just reminds me of that. And guys are like, well, what is he doing? Yada yada yada. Should worry about Villanova not selling shirts. So. And then the other one was if you watch the 30 for 30 on the 85 Bears.
Yeah.
And at the end, they talk about it. Like, how the hell did that team only win one Super Bowl? You had Walter Payton. You had that defense. You had Jim McMahon. And then, they were just talking about the next year. And they were all like, everybody was out because of the Super Bowl shuffle. Everybody realized, holy crap, we can make a lot of money selling this stuff and doing this advertising stuff. And they said that Ditka was pissed, furious. Too many guys are out doing too many commercials. We're not worried about football enough. Meanwhile, he's doing 30 different commercials for limo services, his restaurants, his cigars, all of this and all that. He's yelling at his players for not worrying about football. And they were like sitting there like, well, you're on more spots than us. It's just,
Yeah.
Think about it.
Well, and
all that from Kale's Cookies.
It is amazing the evolution of the commercialization of sports in general and football in particular. And if you go back to
on TV, look up there, Jalen Hurts on TV pushing flag football.
If you go back to like the 1960s and you could somehow do the time travel thing and bring them in, like, can you imagine just how many their mouths just dropping open at what they're getting paid to do
paid,
what?
man.
I mean, they're getting paid like just the salary would be mind blowing to them. Yeah. But then when you look at all of the different opportunities to cash in on your name, image, and likeness, now it is.
You're talking about professionally now.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've often said, like, if you put in perspective, Aaron Rodgers makes $25 million for the Green Bay Packers. Eli Manning makes $25 million for the New York Giants. Aaron Rodgers' $25 million is going a whole lot farther than Eli Manning's $25 million from you. With that said, every day of the week, Eli Manning could go filming a commercial to advertise something and make another $25 million. Where there's no one in Green Bay who could afford to do something like that with Rodgers. One of the guys, and I'm blanking now, but in the first round, they were thrilled that they got drafted to, and now I'm even forgetting. I think it was Texas, but it was either Texas or Florida because, hey, income tax, I don't have. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, the savviness, yes, because if you're drafted by, California, New York, yes, compared to Pennsylvania, Florida, or Texas, like the difference, and it's the same in the business world and all of that. It's like, well, yeah, you go where, if you're smart, you try to go where you can get the most bang for your buck. But the savviness now of agents and players that is part of the equation, and more of them are taking that into account when negotiating too. It's like, I'm worth this on the open market, but I got to pay this because I'm in your state. Or, hey, maybe I can give you a little bit of a discount here because I know my buddies that are – I mean, it's the stuff that you don't really think about when you're out there playing in the backyard dreaming of those moments. Kyle Brady had a conversation with me a couple of years ago. He was like, Goon, you just have no idea how guys just don't understand the difference. $10 million in California is a whole lot different than $10 million in Florida. And he goes, they could not believe it. And to that end, it's just, it is funny because State College and the Penn State area in particular is just always interesting to me in that regard, in that, like, I remember my freshman year, right, at Penn State, and living in the dorm, and we had this kid, Jesse, and he was from, I don't even remember exactly where, but I mean the boondocks of Pennsylvania, and he could not believe how big and overwhelming Penn State and State College was and how much there was to do. And also on our floor, about 3 doors down from me, was this kid, Sean Bumpus, from Philadelphia, and he could not get over how small and nothing to do here. This place and yes, that there was absolutely nothing going on in this area. And it's like, and you had 2 kids having the exact same experience, but having a completely different experience. Yep. And it's the same thing when we talk about pricing, because I've had friends and family in from New York, and we go to a bar, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe the beer is only," and at that time it was like $2, $2.50. This is going back a ways. And then somebody would come in from Bellefonte or Pennsylvania. Whoa, $2.50 for a beer. This is outrageous. It's like, so you can imagine the people from, rural Pennsylvania going to New York City, or the people from New York City going to Millheim, and the difference. And it is. It happened to me. I remember, like, it was 2004, spring of 2004. It was our first ever reunion for the 94 team. Because I said it before in the past, is that there were still so many guys in the NFL that could not have it during the season. So they had our first reunion was in the spring practice. And I remember going to the tavern And I was like, give me a dozen. And they only had Amstel Light and Heineken back then as drafts, as bottles, because they didn't even have drafts. So I was like, give me a dozen Amstels. I'm living in Richmond, Virginia at the time. It's not cheap, not overly expensive, but it's city pricing. I got 12 beers or whatever, and the guy was like, it's $30. And I'm like, what? And he goes, $30. I said, well, bring 12 more out. So I was just like, holy crap, I forgot how cheap it was and how livable it was. But in the same breath, you have other guys coming back here and would be like, God, Amstel Light's $2.50 a bottle. Wow. And you're like, it's unbelievable to me.
Yep. Yeah, perspective. It's an amazing thing. And part of it is, just like your two teams that go 9-3, it's expectations, right? Well, I'm expecting to pay $30 or I'm expecting to pay $10, and here it is, it's $20. And it's the same thing when we talk about the you can have two teams go 9-3, and one fan base is overjoyed and can't believe how awesome this is, and the other is bitterly disappointed and is ready to fire the coach. And again, it just depends on where you're coming from and what the expectation is. What
if they showed the Pittsburgh Pirates at a Flyers-Penguins game, Pittsburgh would cheer them. They show the Philadelphia Phillies last night, who were in a slump.
Yeah.
They get booed in Philly.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Perspective indeed. We will have a little more perspectives when we return. Our final segment of the Wine Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show rolls your way in mere minutes.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
Final segment here on this Thursday afternoon. Pirates are getting crushed by the Cardinals now.
It's
today.
10-4. Come on. 10-5.
It is brutal afternoon.
I hope it just starts pouring rain right down and make you stay there.
Following a heartbreaking night for Pittsburgh fans last night, turning into a rough week. They can turn it around, though, with yours truly in the stadium tomorrow night. Let's get that done, boys.
You want to wear a Flyers shirt or anything?
I do not.
How would that go over?
It would go over as well as it should.
I would wear it. It also doesn't hurt that I'm 6'8" and mutant strong.
That is a fact.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that girl who was threatening me and Paxton down there, somehow she would come out of the woodwork, and her boyfriend would still be crying and scared.
Be quiet, honey. Let's go.
Shut your mouth. Yeah, I gotta get home. I was a good boy, Brenton. I have not taunted you one bit. Did you see the shutout though, Brenton? I don't know if you watched it or not. It was great. The shutout last night, the Flyers. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that or not. So, yep. I mean, the Penguins are known for their offense, right? So.
I wouldn't know. I was watching Celebrity Wheel of Fortune last night. Very entertaining.
Really? I got to get me and my wife, that's our, we usually watch Jeopardy at night and then follow that with Wheel of Fortune.
Well, we do like Jeopardy.
Unbelievable. Like how good my wife is at both of them. But Wheel of Fortune is like, I almost ask her, did you cheat? Is this like a taped? How are they guessing that with one letter up there?
Yeah,
and then she's like really good at it, and I'm like, how in the hell is this happening? So,
yeah, there are times where like it just comes to you, and then there are other times. At least for me, it's like I don't know how I actually figured that one out that quickly, and then there are other times where it's like they have 9 of the 10 letters up there, and I'm like. What in the heck? And then they reveal it. It's like, well, yeah, no, duh. Like, there's just every now and then you just get a. It's like, I don't know what in the world could this possibly be? And then it shows up. It's like, well, yeah,
I'll never understand. I'll buy a vowel. And you're like, you know what the word is.
Yeah, yes. I don't feel like the contestants on there are especially smart when it comes to that stuff.
They're not taking tests like Jeopardy.
Just, I think that's pretty fair to say.
Wow,
that guy that is on a roll on Jeopardy is
lost.
Crazy. Did he? I haven't seen.
He lost in the last like 2 or 3 days.
Okay, I was going to say I haven't seen this week's. I don't think we've seen any. Yeah, because we got in just before the Penguins game last night. We've had stuff every night this week, so I haven't had a chance to check it out. He was on a roll.
Yeah, he was.
I did not know that.
I think he finished with the 5th most ever wins, and he's top 5 money-wise.
I was going to say he has to be, right up there on the
smart
money.
dude.
It was,
very, very smart guy.
And the buzzer. I mean, you listen to the guys that have one biggest on there, and they're like, yeah, there's other people that are as good, but like you got to know how to time that buzzer. I mean, you got to know the stuff, obviously, too, but a lot of it apparently is you got to be good on the timing.
There you go.
Very important.
So many things we don't know. Did they wait till the question is completely read, or can they buzz in early?
Yeah, it is. You got to time it just right. On
some guys get there's some people get into the groove, and it's like bang, bang.
Yeah. Very, very impressive. Just trying to see
final.
Yeah. Pirates are needing. It would be really nice if they can take 2 of 3 from the, at the very least, from the Reds this weekend now after getting swept in all 4 games by the Cardinals this week. Brutal stretch here for those of us that are Pittsburgh fans. Not even a little bit happy about it.
Did you talk to any of your Steeler fans about Aller?
Yeah, it remains an ongoing discussion, and even coming in here today, I was listening a little bit to Colin Cowherd's show, which is on before us, and and it was just funny. I'm like, they were talking about Klubnik, and Cowherd's like, yeah, I mean, I think I would have taken Klubnik over Aller. Like, I think he's the 3rd best quarterback. But then his reasoning for it was, listen, Klubnik got associated a lot with Clemson, and they struggled this season. But I don't know how much of that was his fault. And he at no point, like, he goes on for like a 3-minute diatribe about how you can't hold Klubnik responsible for Clemson's disappointment. I'm like, well, you can partially, but never made the correlation between, you could say the exact same doggone thing about Drew Aller in Penn State, and they kept talking about, that was a more talented team, and the coaching, say what you want about Dabo Swinney, but they didn't get that right this season and all that. I'm like, well, okay, and at no point did they just. By the way, also Drew Aller kind of had a coaching situation, and his associate head coach has come out and said they didn't have the right system for it. Like, no mention of any of that. And again, I'm not sitting here telling you definitively one way or the other that either are going to be a great NFL quarterback or not, or the Klubnik is. But it's just like to go on and on about it. You can't hold Klubnik responsible for Clemson's, and to not at one point say, by the way, you actually probably could say the same thing about Drew Aller. I just thought was really strange. Again, the Aller stuff, there are people that are just adamant that he is an abject failure, and there's no chance that he'll do anything. And again, you may be right. I'm not sitting here telling you that I think for sure he's going to be the guy, but I'm really curious to see what happens here. First of all, I do hope that Rodgers does come back, just so that there is that year buffer and cushion. I will say everything kind of goes out the window here to me if Rodgers doesn't come back. And again, I am fully expecting him to, because I don't know then. I mean, I suspect the Steelers then would start with Rudolph as their guy and kind of see how things play out with Howard and Aller. And I think, from the Steelers' perspective, you're hoping that one of them emerges as the guy that can take over then at the midway point. But I think that would not be, even if it would tilt in Aller's favor, I don't think that's a great situation for him to be thrown into, where then you're the guy and let's see what you got the second half of your rookie season with a team that's still I think an organization that's still figuring some things out in terms of how it's moving forward here with that roster. Whereas Rodgers, again, regardless of the on-field success or lack thereof for the Steelers in the upcoming season, I just think it gives Aller that season then to learn. And then, again, only gives the Steelers a chance to see, all right, yeah, you know what? I think we do have something here.
I just Rodgers comes back. You got those three behind them. Who are you taking off the roster? I mean, you're not going to take Aller off because he's too high of a draft pick. I don't know. I really think they get rid of Rudolph. I truly do.
I don't know.
I mean, again, I know I'm with you. I've been on the Howard train, same as you, since last year. I want to see how he can do, but he busts his hands and busts his finger up, so he couldn't do anything last year. But I would have liked to see how he was. Now, maybe them drafting Aller in the third round gives you any indication of what they feel about him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you got Rudolph out there. Do they keep him and Aller, or do they keep Howard and Aller, or do they get rid of Howard? I mean, it's a big thing because they're not going to unprotect Aller as a third-round draft pick. That will not happen.
I don't know. It depends a little bit. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't happen, because if it happens, it means they saw very early that, this is not a guy that's going to make it at this level. So I don't.
Aller or Howard?
Aller.
Okay.
If they get rid of him.
I don't think any chance in hell of them getting rid of him.
Yeah.
He could go out there as one of the worst players I've ever seen, but as a third-round pick, they're not going to release a third-round pick his first year.
I mean, I don't think so either, but I wouldn't be completely shocked by it either.
Really?
I'm not expecting it, but Yeah, because, I mean, this is a situation where, again, I think McCarthy I think part of this is they want to work with him. So, again, I mean, I'm not expecting it, because I think part of why they took him is McCarthy sees the tools there, and I think he believes that, hey, give me a year to work with this guy and develop him, and he could be our guy. And again, I don't know. I mean, I just have no idea inside that building what they're thinking right now with Will Howard and where he's at. And that is part of the equation here as well, as if you think that is potentially your guy moving forward, like the guy, then it becomes less important that development of Aller. But I have to believe that the reason they took him was McCarthy saying, "Hey, if he's there, let me get a crack at developing him and seeing what we can do here." Because
Howard wasn't his pick.
Yeah, nobody. There's nobody that thinks Drew Aller doesn't have physical skills, right? I mean, the whole question is whether above the shoulders he's going to be able to handle the NFL, and that's a question for a lot of guys who have had a lot of success at the collegiate level as well. Again, it's just a faster game. There's a lot going on. How do you handle the pressure? How do you deal with being the face of, because inevitably, if you're a quarterback, you're going to be the face of the organization, or at least one of the faces of the organization. And again, I think all of that stuff, I know people want to assert that we already know definitively with Drew Aller. I don't think we do, because I just don't think he ever got that opportunity really at Penn State. And I think that was driven home. And I've seen a lot of comments. I don't think Terry Smith was trying to throw James Franklin under the bus. I really don't. I know there's some people that are now interpreting it that way. I think he was just being honest. And I think he's been honest in his assessment. I don't think it's that he's going after Franklin. I think he's just looking at it and saying, yeah, listen, let's be real here. That was not the best system for Drew Aller. We didn't surround him with the best talent. And again, I don't know how much of that then you go back and the reason Drew Aller was checking down is he didn't have anybody that he felt confident in downfield, or coaches telling him, listen, if it's not definitively there, check down because we don't want you turning the ball over. I don't know. And I do think it'll be interesting to see if with a quarterback guru like McCarthy, if he is able to develop that part of Drew Aller where it's like, yeah, you know what, you have the talent, go ahead and fire it. And if you throw some interceptions, Brett Favre threw some interceptions, worked out pretty well for him. It's not, I don't know that you need to be the gunslinger either, but I'm just saying, I really don't think we know with Drew Aller how much of what happened at Penn State, good and bad, was a result of circumstance versus Drew Aller himself and what he's able to do. And again, we'll find out. If he doesn't get that opportunity, then I think we know because the Steelers are telling you by not telling you that, yeah, you know what, this guy doesn't have it. But I still think there's a chance that this thing ends up working out very well for both the Steelers and for Drew Aller. And I still think it's one of the more intriguing storylines coming out of this draft is, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, what are we looking at there with Drew Aller? And
it will be interesting.
And I have no idea. Again, I'm not making predictions one way or the other. I'm obviously hoping, I would love to see Drew Aller be the guy that leads the Steelers to a couple more Super Bowls and all of that. And I'm not ruling that out. I think that, that feels to me like it is a possibility as we sit here today that Drew Aller develops into that type of quarterback. But I'm certainly not sitting here guaranteeing or putting anything on the line with that. But yeah, I think it's possible. All right, we're going to wrap things up here for today. We will be back on Tuesday. Folks, have a great weekend. Again, we will talk to you on Tuesday. Until then, be good and be safe.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Luskin Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.